this episode of the first season of the Malta Humanist Soundbites. It is a safe space where we get a closer look at humanist individuals in Malta. In the next 7 minutes, together with Roger Tirazona, we shall be getting to know Roger on a humanistic view, especially on the topic of ethics and a bit more. Welcome, Roger.
Thank you for your invitation, James, and of course, thank you the Malta Humanist Association
I
for
know that
having me.
you, yeah, I know that you hold that at heart, the
Very
Humanists
much,
Association.
very much. I've been a member for quite a few years now. I've given also my contribution as much as I could. And yes, I've also been the chairperson for a couple of years. So
Excellent.
yes, the MHA is very close to my heart.
And much more to come. So let's start right away. So how has your interest in humanist ethics started?
So basically, when sort of I was letting go of religion, I was searching for a value system because the only value system that I knew was everything tied to religious doctrine and religious sort of morality, and sort of that is how I was raised within a religious value system. And when I was searching around, there wasn't much to go to, but I found humanism, luckily, and so I found out that there is such a wider view towards morality and values.
Hmm.
And it was obviously thanks to humanism. And because of that, sort of I started being interested in the philosophical, let's say, a wider philosophical view of what ethics and morality is all about.
Hmm. So, Roger, why is it crucial that ethics is taught to children in schools?
Well, it is a crucial subject. Ethics is a very crucial subject because as a subject, it shapes the moral formation of our young people. Unfortunately, as people can sort of understand with Maltese history and Maltese culture, the religious worldview has been sort of monopolizing that in terms of moral formation of our young.
Hmm.
And thanks to new changes in the curricula, and especially the curriculum from 2012, and the contributions of NGOs like the MHA, for example, which contributed to this idea of teaching ethics also in schools. Now we have this view that morality is not just the bubble or the echo chamber of religion, or a single religion for that matter, since in Malta it's mostly the Catholic Church which has a hold in that aspect of our education until recently. So yes, we have to understand that there is a wider view, and that the answer of what is the good life is many. There are many answers to that question. And
Mm.
when students understand that, and our young generation understands that, then they will automatically become more tolerant and more accepting and more welcoming of their fellow human beings from all over the world.
Mm. However, how come do you think there are still many that are afraid to raise their children as free thinkers without religion?
Well, one has to start by putting them ourselves, we have to put ourselves in their shoes, in the sense that, I mean, if these people are raised in that culture, then the tendency is that they will raise their own children in that culture. So it's not simply a question of fear, but it's also a question of, this is what I know, and I believe this is the best thing that I can pass on to my children, so I will do that. That is how cultures work, and that is how cultures are propagated, with people who think they're doing what is in the best interest of their children, and so they raise them in the culture that they know,
Mhm.
rather than sort of letting them explore a wider variety of worldviews.
Mhm.
So it is not simply a question of fear, but it is also a question of genuinely people thinking they're doing the best they can for their children.
Mhm. And how do you consider the situation at the moment since the curriculum has been introduced?
Well, since the ethics curriculum has been introduced, we've had a steady increase in demand of students. We've had even articles published on the newspaper over the years since it's been introduced in 2014. We currently have around or a bit more than 3,000 students
Hmm.
in our state schools. Not to mention that there are also students in private schools who are studying ethics as well. At
Hmm.
the moment, ethics is being offered as an alternative to religious education for anyone who asks for it, and of course, subject to the availabilities of teachers in
Because numbers are
schools.
increasing at the moment.
And those numbers are always increasing in demand. It's something that I am experiencing myself, starting from small groups at first, and then now we're having sort of full classes of students who are taking ethics, who are making that choice. We have students who are coming from Catholic families as well, who are choosing to study ethics at school with the rationale that they can study and be raised in a Catholic worldview, even in evening classes, etc. But at school, they can study something which is more of a holistic
Mm.
moral subject, which is ethics.
Hmm.
So yes, I think it is gaining traction and gaining popularity, and a lot of parents are asking for it for their children. So
Mm.
that's a very good sign.
Since it is a subject taken by choice, how do you see participation in class?
Well, I feel that the students who at least I teach, they are genuinely interested because it is a choice that they are making. They're saying, yes, I want to be here because I identify with the subject more. So I think that there is a genuine connection between the students, their families, and the subject. They are genuinely interested in the discussions and in the way we learn things in an ethics classroom. So I think the fact that they are choosing it for themselves engages them more and connects them to the subject more.
All right.
So it makes them involved more in their own moral formation. And they start understanding the importance of morality and moral formation and the
Mhm.
formation of values.
Roger, thank you very much for being with us. It was great having you on these 7-minute sound bites, and hope you will keep marching on in humanism with us as well.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you for the invitation.
Bye bye.
Bye.